Might be one of Will Smith's best performance lines. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Might be one of his best delivered lines in his whole career, I will say.
Oscar worthy, some might say. Oh, man.
Yo, this feels like a crash landing of a podcast, as if the last one that the people listened to wasn't.
Right.
As that was a party pod. The one before that, this is like my first time back in like my own studio, because the one before that I was over at C-Sun. Shout out to Lori. Yep. Thanks for letting me use your office. But a lot has happened between the last podcast and now. And I'm not even alluding to just what happened at the Oscars night. Like, there has been so much going on in the past week.
Literally.
Oh, my God.
While we were still on our Smoking Grooves high.
Man, there's been a lot. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Unfiltered Gems. Thanks for watching on YouTube, the entire 9. If this is your first time listening, first time watching, what a show to come in on. For those that do not know, my name is Malcolm Alexander.
And I'm Ryan Hale.
All right. Look, I don't even know where to start, but golly, are we going to do this? Jesus, we going to do it today.
Oh, man, I'm excited.
Some of us are calling it Slapgate. I'm calling it Slapgate. I haven't heard anyone else call it Slapgate, but I'm going to call it Slapgate.
The slap heard around the world.
The slap heard around the world. Oh, my goodness. Like a Paul Revere would say when they say the British are coming. Well, let me tell you about the last night's Oscars. The niggas are coming. The niggas coming. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Look, guys, we have to have a very objective conversation today about protecting black women. And I think that's going to be a conversation that we have not just in talking about the Oscars and what happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock. What the hell? Someone calling me right when that comes. Look, that's how you know God is like.
Hey, is that Chris Tucker or is that Chris Rock?
That was Chris Tucker. No, that was Chris. That was Chris Rock hitting me up like, what the hell you mean? You gonna have my name in your mouth. Have my name in your mouth, right? Look, I'm so sorry, Chris Rock. Between Will Smith and Chris Rock, we're going to talk, let our thoughts of a little bit to what is happening with the confirmation of potential Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. We're going to get into Jay Prince wanting to start a rival broadcast to the Grammys because of disenfranchisement as far as the black artists are concerned when it comes to the music industry. And then, y'all, I mean, I know I'm kind of teasing everything. We're teasing everything, but it's just a meaty show. A lot going on. Since Smoking Grooves, we've just been on tour, seeing concerts. Literally. We may not be performing at it, but we've been on tour just seeing concerts. You saw Lucky Daye and the Joyce Rice show. I got to see Silk Sonic.
Don't remind me. Yep.
Oh, man. Oh, I will, though. We'll talk about it. And honestly, I am going to tell y'all right now, I'm going to do a no spoilers discussion around it. Because I'm already going to say, I don't want to spoil it for nobody, and I highly encourage everyone to see it. So there's that. And the night before, I saw Dua Lipa. Fam, how the hell that happened, I'll never know. But look, a lot to get down to. Atlanta premiered on Thursday. Hell, how are you?
Man,
it's a lot going on, man.
It's a lot going on. I'm good. Everything is everything. I'm excited for the show today, though. So I think that I'm just, how am I, to answer your question, excited. One quick word.
What word? What did Tremont say? What word to describe?
What you got for the moment? What you got
for the moment? Nigga, I'm excited. It has been. I'm good. Sincere moment of vulnerability. Literally prior to the Oscars stuff, which is probably going to do a lot of our talk today. I was already just feeling really overwhelmed, dude. I had I was in Vegas from Wednesday to Friday, then did a 5 a.m. drive back from Vegas back here to California because I had a gig here in California that Saturday, and then I tried to sleep the whole day Sunday. But then I had to see my brother Malcolm out. Not talking about myself, but my brother Malcolm Ali. You already know the young king. He's been on our dating special. Gonna plug that right there. But some of y'all know and some of y'all don't. Either way, I want to send him a huge shout out because I'm incredibly proud of the young man. But I saw him out, helped him pack. Me and Victoria went over to his crib the other night, and he left this morning on tour with Kenneth Babyface Edmonds.
Man,
so
happy for him.
If Babyface and Kim are coming to a city near you, y'all can go support my brother Malcolm Ali. He is singing backup, got the harmonies on lock. Even Kris Jenner reposted him singing.
Really? That video
Malcolm
that
Ali,
he posted?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
dope.
Kris Jenner reposted it, child. I said, look, come on now. I'm proud of my man. I really do. But my brothers, my sisters, I'm proud of a lot of people's right now, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I was just already overwhelmed. There's just been like a lot going on, business-wise and work-wise. I'm just in a different type of place as well right now. So I felt yesterday I was really resting, and I was doing a lot of resting until I wasn't. Until I was watching the Oscars, until I woke up, because I was literally I was watching Living Single all day. It just taking naps, in and out of naps. And then at an hour, and I'm watching the Oscars on Twitter. I'm not like watching the broadcast, but I'm like watching it on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm refreshing. I'm seeing who's winning. And then it all happened. So, hell, I want to get this podcast started. If that's all right with you.
Let's get it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Unfiltered Gems. Unfiltered Gems, the podcast, family and friends, gentlemen and ladies, non-binary royalty alike. You have come to quite the show today, let me tell you. My name is Malcolm Alexander.
And I'm Ryan Hale. What's going on?
Shout out to the whole team that brings you the Unfiltered Gems podcast. Because when I tell you that the team far and wide, not just producer Sarah, but everyone in her mama hit I don't know about you, Hale, but I know they hit you. Me, and they were just like, so the next podcast is about to be nuts. So let's dive into the first story of the day. Some of y'all might be familiar, but let's run some audio from the Oscars, which aired as the point of recording last night.
He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. The quote heard around the world. Might be one of Will Smith's best performance lines. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Might be one of his best delivered lines in his whole career, I will say.
Oscar worthy, some might say.
Some might say. Will Smith last night at the Oscars. We need to contextualize this as best as we can.
Woo!
Hale, I'm going to defer to you first to unpack last night's Oscars.
Crazy, bro. I mean, shout out to my sister first for even having the Oscars on while I was over at my family's house, because we care less about the Oscars. But was watching it. And then if you were watching the broadcast live, you noticed how it froze during that portion. So I'm thinking to myself, is something going on with the TV? Is the internet down? Whatever. So then we rewound it and saw exactly what happened. And I was like, nah, this is fake. That had to be fake. That has to be fake. There's no way that's real. And then I go on Twitter and see the actual video, and I'm like, this is insane. Like, if you see his eyes when he's yelling back at him, it's like, oh, no, that's some real anger.
That's what sold it.
That's some real anger.
We've seen the play fights at the award shows.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
We've
seen that was not that.
And then if you couldn't tell by his eyes, you could tell by Lupita's, who was sitting behind him,
that the real star of the entire ordeal. Y'all know how I feel about a Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah,
I adore her.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Love her.
She's amazing. I'm still in shock, to be honest with you. Even just hearing the audio back, I've watched the video about 50 times now, and I just can't believe it every single time. Like, it's like, I know, and I can't imagine being in Chris Rock's shoes during that point where he's like, oh, Richard's coming up when he's walking up. Because it's like there's no way that you think this man is about to come up and slap me in front of the
Not
whole
Will
world.
Smith. Not Will Smith.
Not King
Not Will
Richard.
Smith. Not King
Not the Fresh Prince. Come on now. Because if you hear him say, he said, "Oh shoot, Richard," because he called him Richard at first.
Richard, yeah.
I'm like, there's no way that he thought that was actually going to happen. That's why I thought it was a joke. But then when he started yelling back, I said, "Oh, though he's for real serious."
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of thoughts though, but I'll let you go first. What was your first reaction?
Well, I mean, my reaction was, let me say this in real time, right? Because I'm literally sitting behind me. I'm on my couch watching the Oscars. Now, mind you, I'm incredibly hyped because what Chris Rock was there to present were the nominees for Best Documentary or documentary style movie, to which one of our favorites, Questlove, was nominated.
Questlove. Yep.
And then won for his incredible film, Summer of Soul. If you guys have not seen it, it is about the 1969 Harlem Cultural Festival, which took place in New York City over the course of an entire summer, seeing the likes of Stevie Wonder, Mavis Staples. I can go on and go on and go on. Even the people that performed around it, like the lore and the run. When I tell you I'm so proud of Questlove, and I know how bad he wanted this, and my thoughts are so rooted in, I think, of what was taken away.
Yeah.
In Will choosing to do that and handle it that way. There's a lot of questions that come, and we're going to get into all the spicy questions. Y'all know why y'all come to this podcast, and y'all want it. I'm going to have the jokes, but I think initially, because I was so gung-ho to hear Questlove, and then hearing his speech hours later, of course, because it was like, it got all muddled in, and seeing him get so emotional and talking about his parents and saying, man, I wish my parents could have taken a 5-year-old Questlove to see how this beautiful black moment that was erased from our history.
Yeah.
I also think about how King Richard, as a movie and as the film that finally, and we're all guessing, we're like, Will Smith is probably going to win. Whether or not y'all thought he was the one that should have won of all the nominees. I didn't see all the nominees, or I didn't see all the movies in the category. I didn't even see King Richard.
Oh, wow, I did.
Quite frankly, really Beyonce's performance of it was the first time I even heard the song. I was like, oh, that's a Beyonce song. I don't even know. Look at that. Okay. Like great performance.
Yeah.
But so many moments in that night that literally because of this ordeal have just been robbed. And I don't think that we're even able to see in the fruit of what it was. Even his speech at the end just fell flat for me. It felt so empty for you to get up and talk about protection after assaulting a peer of yours.
Literal assault.
Literal actual assault. This is not me being overly sensitive.
This ain't no joke.
This ain't no joke.
Yep.
Will Smith assaulted however him or his wife feels about Chris Rock, but a peer in your space.
Yeah.
When I talk about a moment being robbed, I think about the fact that this was the first time that a black man got the reins to head production for the Oscars. Yeah. Shout out to Will Packer.
Yep. Not only that, bro. Samuel L. Jackson won his first Oscar. Meg Thee Stallion, I guess, was like the first female black rapper to perform at the Oscars. Like, it was a lot of stuff.
There was a lot that happened
last night.
Seeing HBCU students be the ones that can hand the awards, the presenters. Right? There was a lot that happened. And so I don't want to first go into, well, see, this is what happens. They ain't never going to give us nothing again. Right? I don't want to go down there because now that does make Will be the reason that black people can't have anything. And I don't think that that's going to be the case here, nor does that need to be the argument.
Right.
But there was a lot of moments robbed. And I want to start the line of questioning here as far as why. And why do these moments feel robbed? And why does it feel like the person here, the victim might be Jada in all of this, but the perpetrator doesn't seem to be, despite the violence that Chris Rock might have committed in the joke. Why did Will choose this moment in right now? Hale, before I share, why? Why now? Why do you think this is? Why do you think it went down like this? And do you agree with how it went down?
I definitely don't agree. I don't agree with how it went down. And I know we're going to kind of dive into some of these different questions. But I'll just say I don't agree with how it went down because I get maybe you not liking the joke. I get maybe you seeing how your wife reacted to the joke and you feeling away. I get that. But if we watch the footage back, actually, you were laughing at first. Now, that could have been a fake laugh. That could have been a laugh out of because you're not knowing what to do. But the cameras did catch you laughing and smiling. Like you thought it was a joke, right?
Sure.
So now, who knows what happened in that 10 to 15 seconds after that? But whatever was going through your mind or whatever you wanted to do or say to Chris Rock, you could have done that at the next commercial break. Like you're Will Smith. You could have went backstage and had a conversation with him. You could have handled this after the show at the party.
We can't speculate because like, right? Like we can all talk about what we shoulda, coulda, woulda done, right? And what Will, in hindsight, what he coulda, shoulda, woulda done. Why did he do what he did?
Okay, well, why did he do what he did? I think is because he was sick of the jokes. He's sick of being emasculated. He's sick of being a meme all over the internet. And I think that slap was not just to Chris Rock. I think Chris Rock was just the victim for everybody else in the internet that he couldn't slap. And all the other people that he couldn't slap who've been talking about him and clowning him, whether in his face, behind his back, whatever the case may be. So I think that was a slap for not just Chris Rock, but for everybody who made a meme or made a comment about Red Table or the entanglement or all of that stuff. But my thing even with that is it's not like people were putting this stuff out and you had to try to put out fires. You guys were putting this information out there. This is what you wanted from the Red Table Talk. This is you. You wrote a whole book talking about how you was mad about your relationship
holding up the mirror to the family.
This
is your whole family, nigga. Look at you.
This is what you wanted.
Look at you looking like yourself. Okay, look.
I'm just shocked. Like, you're mad that people are making jokes off your stuff that you decided to put out?
I'm just going to grab the mic right here.
Yeah, go ahead. Let
me just run this real quick. Because I've talked to fewer people about it. I've been waiting on this moment.
He said, I've been waiting on this moment.
I really have. I need, before we get in to the point of whether or not the joke was harmful, right? And the actual harm of the joke that Chris Rock said, right? Because I do want to use our platform as best as we can, especially with the conversations that we've been having around the Black experience and relationships within the Black community, right? Especially between Black men and Black women, right? And really, what does it mean for us to protect Black women?
Right.
I really think Will did this, to your point. Because this man was tired. He's sick and tired of being sick and tired of being cuck. Oh, hold on. This man has been cuckolded by the media for years. So he used this point, what it looked like as a man, is that you really had to go up on stage and show your whole dick in front of an international audience. You had to use this moment as a metaphor, to your point, to not just slap a fellow Black man on stage, but to assert your jock capital in a chapter in your life that you are claiming to be the most introspective.
Right.
And in part introspective, an outward pouring of love and support and lessons and wisdom that will be your legacy to share with this world. So then for you to then win Best Actor and then go in here, talk about your mission of love, talk about your mission of anti-violence, and talk about your mission of protecting, what you did not represent that at all. I can only think why is that, I'm with you, where I looked at him and I said, you were laughing. I'm maybe taking that laugh as that I don't think it registered, quite frankly, what happened. I think he might have been laughing and then maybe like said, camera cuts him quick, you know what I'm saying? And so, and then we see him laughing and Jada.
We say the eye roll,
with that aggressive eye roll. The aggressive eye roll. The eye roll that if it could have killed you, it might have sent some spears flying. But you chose that moment of all moments for you to pop off. And the funniest thing, I don't think it would have happened if it would have been a white comedian. or a white man on stage. Damn sure as hell wouldn't happen if a woman made the joke. And here's the thing. Regina Hall, who was one of the 3 amazing hosts of the Oscars last night, literally took a shot at Will and Jada, and people were like, oh, it was a shot at Will. No, it was actually more of a shot at Jada, saying that, quite frankly, you're okay if your husband, you're okay with sharing your husband.
Oh, I didn't even hear that joke.
She made a joke earlier in the broadcast at the both of them, because she was saying, oh, hey, for all the people that had their COVID test, I'm single right now, so I need to do a double checking of some of the tests. And she started naming some of the male nominees and the men of the year. So she's like, Simu Liu, please come to the stage, the man that played Shang-Chi. And she starts naming all these little young heartthrobs that are there. She said, Timothy Chalamet, Dune, let me double check your test, young man. And so she's having all these young men. And then she goes to Will. She goes, Will Smith, well, I know you're taken, but, Jada, I guess you're okay with it. So, Will, you can come too. You didn't get mad then. So It was right at that moment that you suddenly decided that it was enough.
Well, people have also said that this may have stemmed back to the Chris Rock jokes from the last Oscars
about her not being invited?
Right. The joke about that. And what was the other joke that he made? Yeah, he made some jokes around. He's made some jokes around that. I mean,
do you think now the why is there? Because we can tell it was motivated by ego, and of course everyone and their mom can 100%. Say it wasn't the right way to go about it. But what happened. So I don't want to put energy in what coulda, shoulda, woulda happened. What happened. So let's talk about protecting black women then, because I'm seeing a lot of people, and not too many people, but I'm seeing a lot of people with this, I'm with Will, one camp of just the men of saying, well, it's my woman, I'm going to stick beside her, I'm a defender.
Yeah.
And we can talk about whether we agree with, that way of going about, but let's just talk about, and stick, it's my woman, I'm going to stick beside her, right? But then there's also the camp of, that joke from Chris Rock was incredibly harmful, and everyone's gonna pick apart Will. Everyone's gonna pick apart Will for doing it, but then no one's gonna talk about actually it still was protecting black women. So I want to know, where do you place protection of black women in this argument as it pertains to Chris Rock's joke, whether you think it's harmful or not? Mm-hmm. And then is this how we set a precedent for protecting black women?
I personally did not think Chris Rock's joke is funny. I mean, was harmful. Like I said, I watched the video back 50 times, the video including the joke. And I thought it was a funny joke if I'm just taking it from strictly comedy. Knowing Chris Rock's career, knowing just comedy as comedy itself. Comedy is...
It was one of the most on-brand jokes for Chris Rock.
Literally. It's like you make fun of people.
And of all the jokes that he said and things that he has said throughout the fucking years.
He was 100% right when he said, that was a nice one. That was a nice... That was not too far. Yeah, it was
that wasn't at all.
I didn't think that was a harmful joke. Now, people have been saying that Jada's been outspoken about her conditions with alopecia. To my knowledge, before last night, I did not know about that at all. So I don't believe that if Chris Rock knew that, especially being somebody who did, I don't know if he helped produce
and he didn't know it. I'll tell you, he didn't know.
And he helped produce or create a whole movie on black hair, right? So I don't think that he would be somebody joking about somebody with a hair condition. You get what I'm saying? So I think that was just a harmless Oscar hosty type of joke that he would have made in any year of the Oscars. You get what I'm saying?
And I think, go ahead. Sorry.
My bad. I was just saying, when it comes to protecting black women, I think it's easier for people to say, oh, Will Smith protected his wife because he's Will Smith. If it was me sitting up at the Oscars in my status right now, I couldn't go up there and do that. You get what I'm saying? I don't think that we have the privilege like Will Smith may have to get away with something like that. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's...
Not to mention if he did it to a white man,
True. I don't think that should be the bar, the standard for protecting black women. I think there was another way to stick beside your wife, like you were alluding to earlier, and protect her without making a fool of yourself on national TV and robbing other people of their moments, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't think that has to be the standard for protecting black women or standing beside your wife or none of that.
And you know, I wasn't sure if you were actually going to have that opinion. I thought
I do. I do.
I do.
And I can't get with that camp that's like, oh, I mean, that's his wife. It is his wife, but there is another way that he could have handled it. And like you said, we don't need to go about what the coulda, woulda, shouldas. But if we're talking about protecting black women, that's not the only way, or maybe I don't even think it's the best way to go about protecting black women, if we're being honest. Go ahead, though.
In around protecting black women, and especially when it comes to black women's power and their divinity, hair is a huge factor. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying this as a fact or saying this from a place of experience, despite having my own lovely hair journey that I'm incredibly attached to. But as you mentioned, Chris Rock did an entire dissertation on hair.
Yep.
In the black community. Mm-hmm. So I would think that he would have the wherewithal to deliver a certain joke with tact. And so to the camp of people that are saying, oh, it's so harmful and all this. One, we have these own jokes within our own community. We do. And I don't, and y'all know I'm the sensitive one on the show, right? I am the PC one. But I am also somebody who adores the craft of comedy. Mm-hmm. The joke was in reference to a haircut that the lead star of G.I. Jane had in the 90s, which she had a bald head.
That's literally it.
Now, it is a relationship to power and divinity, as I said, for black women, that relationship that they have with their hair. Mm-hmm. And yes, a lot of jokes have to be off limits. And a lot of things that we say when it comes, especially as it pertains to protecting black women, right? We have to make sure that these jokes aren't rooted in that level of harm and reducing of a black woman's power in their livelihood, right? I just personally do not think that I just don't think that joke was what I would have been so much more furious about you coming at my marriage.
Yeah, same. Or then coming at my manhood,
at my manhood,
August Alsina
or
jokes,
again at my character.
Yeah, exactly.
At my character. Don't attack my character.
Yep.
Make a joke about my hair because it's my hair. Mm-hmm. So we got to hear from a lot of people.
Yeah,
people have been sending messages in. Before we run some of the messages that are in our DMs, guys, let's talk a little bit about alopecia, because that is something that Jada has been vulnerable about in her experience with alopecia. And for those that don't know, alopecia is an autoimmune disease that causes sudden and unpredictable hair loss on the scalp, face, and sometimes on other areas of the body. Commonly, those with alopecia experience hair loss in patches, while in more extreme cases, alopecia can result in complete hair loss on the scalp or even throughout the entire body, okay? That is according to Betty D's, which is an alopecia awareness company. And so one of our first messages that I want to get down to is actually from, I don't want to say friend of the show, best friend of the show, Miss Paige Herbert and her beautiful mother. They run Betty D's, and they were kind enough to actually send a video message into the show to maybe shed light on how the alopecia community might feel about jokes like this, okay? I want to dive in just a little bit.
As someone that suffers with alopecia, it's definitely a little disheartening to hear jokes made about an illness, autoimmune disease that's still yet a lot unknown about it. As someone that speaks on our behalf, I definitely feel much more awareness is needed. For someone to speak in such a joking manner, it's disheartening and it's hurtful. And I think they don't realize how it affects us. You know, we're sensitive, and we definitely wish that people would ask if they are uncertain what, you know, being bald is about, rather than make snide remarks or jokes about it. And as someone that loves someone that has it as well, I know it hurts you too to hear.
Yeah, it's disheartening to hear that it's a butt of a joke. There's just some lines that I feel like you can't cross or shouldn't cross. I think comedy is a gray area sometimes, and that anything can be the butt of something funny. And I think it was bittersweet to see Will stand up for Jada, which was encouraging to see that there's support within the hair loss community. While we don't condone the actions he took to do so, it is nice to see alopecia and hair loss taking the world stage. The way that we're going about it is non-traditional. It's definitely getting people talking. It was a shock and awe moment to see.
For sure.
But it's refreshing to see on the news and in conversation hair loss and alopecia. So we're grateful that Jada is an icon. She's using her voice. She's using her platform to share her experience, and she's being courageous enough to share her journey with those who understand it, like my mom, and they're living it. But also for those of us who don't understand it, I think jokes like that come from lack of knowledge about hair loss, which breeds insensitivity. And it's just something that I feel like we should lead with more kindness and empathy. But we're grateful to be continuing the conversation.
And as I mentioned, that is from Betty D and me, an alopecia company based out of Las Vegas. Lovely friends of ours, and we appreciate those words that they did share, right? And I think maybe even to their point, when it comes to awareness of what alopecia is, I really don't think Chris Rock knew.
That's what I was gonna say. I love them. We've talked to them before. Obviously, like you said, friends of the show. Great women and just people in general. And I love everything that they're talking about, especially when they said that there needs to be some more awareness around it, because there's not. Like I said, I didn't even know that she had it. I didn't know a lot about the disease in general. So there does need to be a lot of awareness on it. I just think what's getting blurred, and I think what's maybe getting a little confused, is like, I think we're talking as if he knew this already going into making the joke. You get what I'm saying? And she made the comment, Paige made the comment, like, comedy is a gray area. And there's some jokes that may that shouldn't cross the line, or that you shouldn't say, is what she alluded to. And I agree with that. But then it's like, when it comes to comedy, are we now going to start making a checklist of things you can or cannot say?
And I know that that's always constantly a debate with comedy, right? And I even think about when we had our conversation about Dave Chappelle and the closer.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I just think that the same people who were trying to say it was just jokes are condoning the level of violence. And again, I think that's where both sides are incredibly harmful, right? If we're going to sit there I think you're going to harm the craft and the art of comedy if we try to take someone's ignorance and then say, well, exactly, you can't say that anymore, right? Versus where Chappelle made like it. Again, this joke was not a comment on an entire group of people.
Nope.
Wasn't an attack on the alopecia. It wasn't harmful. It wasn't even attacking her character. It was one person, an ancillary moment where Chappelle's making commentary about an entire group. You know, and we're talking, like, I'm just saying the discrepancy of harm to one to one person versus an entire group, and for someone to say, oh, it's just jokes, but then condone violence for this and say, well, but I'm going to stick with my wife, and what he did is justified and it's okay.
Well, I'm not even surprised by that, because I mean, people are always flip-flopping, so that doesn't surprise me. I just think when it comes to this joke specifically, and saying jokes like this when it comes to comedy strictly, like, I heard a few comedians talk on this, and it's just like, this is comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like something that was too aggressive. I don't think it was something that was, in my opinion, that was very harmful. Even if you want to bring up the Dave Chappelle thing like you just did, like, that was a debate. You get what I'm saying? Like, people were debating or discussing.
There wasn't a lot of jokes around it. It was just political commentary.
That was serious, and you either felt one way or the other, and we had our whole conversation about that. But on this, it's like, it was a quick, like you said, like a quick jab. It wasn't even like, and I don't even think I think it would have even been worse if he would have said something like, "Oh, you so bald," or "You look at your head," or something like. It was like a joke to a movie. You get what I'm saying?
It was a movie joke. Like, it was.
Again, that's why it's hard for me to say that was an insensitive joke or an attack on people with alopecia, or that was breeding insensitivity.
Insensitivity.
Yeah. Like,
I will say though, interesting enough, this might be the one thing that does raise incredible awareness for the 100% community.
I do agree with that. I just don't know if I can say that Chris Rock was I don't know if I can say he was harmful.
Well, a lot of people do feel that way.
I know they do. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do feel that way, right? Let's go into a little bit more listener audio before we do move on and get out of this topic.
Chris Rock situation.
This is our friend Ty. She was on our last podcast too.
First things first, very disappointed at the way that Will Smith handled that situation last night.
Damn.
The sensitivity surrounding the issue. I understand his desire to defend his wife's honor and feeling as though her feelings were hurt, so he wanted to make sure she knew that he was there with her. But at the same time, I don't think that stage was the moment to address the grievances. And even if he wanted to address it right then and there, he could have stayed in his seat. I'm not understanding why he had to hop on stage and physically assault another black legend in the comedy game, and Will being a legend in his own right in the acting game. The fact that that's the visual I'm seeing all day circulating on a night where we should have been celebrating Will's first Oscar win, Big Willie from Philly finally getting his
first
Oscar.
one.
All of that is overshadowed because he decided to address his grievances with Chris Rock right then and there on the stage by physically assaulting the brother on national television. 2 black men.
International television.
That's all that anybody cares about. That's the only thing anybody even remembers, right? Nobody cares that he won the Oscar. We only care that he slapped the hell out of Chris Rock.
It's true.
And people feeling as though that's okay because Will Smith has been taking so many lumps in the media, and his wife and him have just been punching bags. But nobody seems to understand that doesn't make physical assault okay. And at the Oscars? When have you ever seen that happen before?
And when will you ever again?
And from Will Smith of all people, it's just classless to me. I'm sorry, but that was some beta male behavior. I don't care if people think that he was quote unquote defending his wife. There are better ways to defend yourself, brother. You didn't have to get on stage and do all that. I'm very disappointed in Will because honestly, it looked like it was stemming from something else. It's not just about the alopecia of Jada. It's beyond that. There's been plenty of public turmoil as far as their relationship is considered to where now there's this hypersensitivity around the issue, which I understand. But I also think that this is a cautionary tale of what happens when you open up too much of your life, too much of that private life into that public world, and people feel like they can comment on it, right? And as embarrassing as it may be, there are better ways to go about addressing it. And after the Oscars would have been fine, the after party would have been fine at that stage. Nah.
Yeah,
100% agree.
I'm with it. Shout out to Ty. Appreciate her.
Will put out an apology about 2 hours ago now, at the point of our recording. And reading a little excerpt of that, he said, "Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be." And to me, that's just a bunch of bogus.
It just, like, that's why I laugh when you put that shit in the chat and you was like, "Oh, you laughing already? I'm hype." And I'm just like, again, none of the other jokes about your own infidelity, which he's never gonna try to admit to, but right, with your own open relationship and your own, like, August Alsina made a "I hit it first" type shit,
bro.
And you're the joke about it, and this is the thing that sets you off.
That's the one. That's the one you want to make an example out of, huh?
That's the one, nigga. Stop. Stop. Like, it's just cap. It's cap to me, dog.
I'm baffled.
It's cap, bruh. It's all cap. This is the joint. Like, you have literally been emasculated by the media. Like, again, cuckolded by the whole media. You know what I'm saying? And then 100%. Gonna go on a legacy tour of, like, love and togetherness, and I have so much to give to the world, and we gotta protect these young men and women. Literally, bro, Uncle Chris making a joke about. Come on,
bro. He said in his speech, he said, "I hope the Academy invites me back." I was thinking, nah, bro.
Nah, bro. No,
I hope they don't.
I hope they don't. No,
you
like, and look, and they can't take the award back now because it would look in poor taste. But the Academy, apparently they are looking into it.
They are,
right?
yep.
They are investigating it. And it's like, if he gets a suspension, I'm not going to sit back and be like, justice for Will, free Jussie. But I ain't giving justice for Will. Damn it. I couldn't even give it out laughing. Shit. I was trying to sneak that one in there. Free Jussie. Look, it's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, y'all. Look, we got... Continue, please.
Oh, yeah,
if you got more meat on it, finish it up. If you got more meat on it.
Yeah. This is my last point in it. I just think when it comes to this whole situation, I just feel like, obviously, like Ty alluded to, Will handled it so poorly, so classless. But I just think it's so hard for people to say, oh, that's the way to defend your wife, or that's what he was doing. It's like when you hear it. So now when people hear a comedian at a comedy club, does it give them the right now to go up and slap the comedian if they don't like the joke? Or is that what we're doing now because Will Smith did it?
Am I the only one that goes to comedy shows? Like, bruh, if you in the first row,
you gonna get clowned.
I've heard comedians, you gon' get clowned, dog. Like, there comes a point where, again, like, I just never thought I would I would feel like I'm here, right? But it's like, I want to have more conversations around protecting black women, and protecting black women 100%. Is a huge, it is a huge point of my livelihood and my legacy, right? That I want to make sure that like I adhere to, right? In the ways that are actually constructive to protecting black women. But I think about the things, whether or not I agree with them being okay, that I've heard when I'm at a comedy show, right? I've heard men and women, white, black, blue, or brown, disparage women and men just in terrible ways, right? And it can come from the hair, it can come from the makeup, you know what I'm saying? We've seen Oscar hosts, like I said, Regina Hall made a joke about Will being in an open relationship a few moments before. In an entanglement, dog. This is a thing, like
oh man.
Look, y'all, it's a case-to-case basis here, right? If anyone else would have said it just to a random black woman in the audience, it probably wouldn't have worked if you look at Lupita Nyong'o and just done it.
If he would have made that joke about Lupita, I don't think she would have been up in arms.
But I'm saying it wouldn't even been funny.
True. Yeah.
Like it's oh my God, hold on. I just have to share it. Y'all already know, friend of the show. Maybe not even a friend, but my grandmother, Ninny. Some of y'all know her. Some of y'all, like, everyone does it. Look, we're gonna take a break right now because we got to regroup after this. We're gonna take a break. I want to read a text because Ninny just texted me, and all it previews on the damn screen is I completely understand Jada Smith. So I just want to read her text to me for the world.
We'll read that live next.
This is from the pen of my grandmother. I understand Jada Smith. The world doesn't. After all, the disease affecting hair loss is important to the person affected. It will not kill you, so the world says get over it. We'll do much for the Oscars. Hope your treatment helps your arm. Oh, sorry. She's saying that about my physical therapy. Anyway, look, that's what that last part is. Go to physical therapy tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Point made. Look, I get it. I don't know if man,
I don't
hard.
agree.
Again,
but I get it.
Again, Chris didn't
do it
know.
In poor judgment or poor taste.
And did not know. Like, did not know that she had it.
No.
I'm just saying, y'all. A lot of layers to this one.
You know who I cannot wait to hear from is Chris Rock. I will be on. I will stop everything when he's going on his. Isn't his tour called the Ego Trip Tour? It's coming to Phoenix. It's coming to Ego Death. You might want to go to that tour because you know. I know he's gonna make jokes about it.
He just sold out his whole tour.
Or something. Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. I hope
that whole tour just
beforehand.
I hope he does it. Yeah. I hope he sell that tour out. That's the interview.
True.
Letting Chris Rock just. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my tickets then.
Get him. All right. Protect black women, y'all. I don't want to see black men on stage, especially when we have platforms like this, causing violence to each other. And I do not want to make this a whole, this is what happens when you give the keys to the kingdom joint. Like, that's not it. And shout out to Will Packer. I hope that we can see more black production of these award shows. Probably when we have to come out. Well, probably after break, we'll talk a little bit more about some award shows. Okay, stick around. Yeah, your favorite black ass disco party, the new Studio 54. We are back and better than ever. I'm super excited to announce the return of Capacity Dance Party here in Los Angeles in Chinatown at the Melody Lounge. It goes down April 14th. And of course, for any information that you need and RSVP, CapacityDanceParty.com is where you go. And make sure to connect with us on all socials to stay up to date with everything groovy here at Capacity Dance Party. All right, let's get back to the show.
Unfiltered Gems, the podcast. What's going on, y'all? My name is Ryan Hale.
And it's me, Malcolm Alexander.
It's me, your boy.
It's me. Hello. Follow us everywhere at Unfiltered Gems Podcast. Right. Please subscribe on YouTube. You're watching us. Correct. Thank you so much. And thank you for getting through our discussion in our dissection of the Oscars. Of course, if you have opinions on it, please hit us on our socials, man. You guys know where it's at. Even we're on Gmail. So thank y'all so much. Well.
Yeah. Do it all. We appreciate the love. Appreciate you guys listening. We want to dive into something next. Speaking of award shows, the Grammys is the next award show coming up. And Jay Prince has called out the Grammys, and he's called out hip hop after Kanye was asked to not perform at the Grammys, or not even asked, was told he was no longer performing because of his social media outbursts and everything going on with him and Kim and Pete Davidson and all that good stuff. So no Kanye. Drake has already said he's out. So Jay Prince over last week said, hip hop, this is your time. We need to come together in Vegas, have a concert that airs the same time as the Grammys, and show them why hip hop and black music is so important. So he's had people chime in, like Nicki Minaj, who says she respects it. Quavo and the Migos said they were on board. So we'll see if it actually comes to fruition. But Malcolm, my question to you, bro, is do you think that this is going to help change how the Grammys are voted on, how hip hop music is voted on when it comes to nominations and all that good stuff? Because I know we've been talking about this for years. So this isn't even something new when it comes to hip hop, black music, and the Grammys. So do you think this is something that's going to kind of change the tide when it comes to that? Or you think this is going to be another Drake versus Kanye premiering on Amazon Prime?
Good question. I like that. Okay. Yes, a broadcast focused on black entertainment aired at the same time as the Grammys would make an impact and further prove what we already know globally, that black entertainment is pop culture and leads pop culture as the defining, trending movement.
Right.
Now, do I think Jay Prince, legend of hip hop, okay? Do I think that Jay Prince siding with Kanye and pretty much just being someone else that's condoning Kanye's fuckheadery? That's what I don't agree with. I don't know. Like, I don't think that Kanye needs a stage right now. That's just me, though.
I 100% agree.
Like, we want to talk about violence and harassment and just like, poor, like, and I don't know. And then I am pro like protest the Grammys because it's like, they constantly miss, and we know that. I think that's why we like to be upset and have the talking points of the Grammys, is because every single year there's so many other acts that we're like, but these acts are what deserved it, but more black artists deserved it. Of course, we know that.
Right.
Like, that's always going to be the talking point. Do we need something else? Yeah. I just think the strategy, I think I have a better strategy. Maybe it's just that. My strategy for how we do that is, and I don't think that we're going to get there, right? Because any black artist that has even the chance to be Grammy nominated is going to take it. That is
or
still,
have a chance to perform at the Grammys,
or perform at the Grammys, especially. And I'm just thinking about peers of mine, right? People that I know now that are Grammy nominated or Grammy award winning because of their contributions to certain artists, this or soundtracks or this, and it's just like, damn,
it's huge.
Yes, we can say Grammy's so white, and it is. But I'll be damned if it wouldn't be dope as hell to have one hanging on my wall. To have one hanging on my wall? The fuck? A whole Grammy, dog. So we still can't act like the prestige hasn't been there, because as a culture and as a society, we've built up the Grammys to be that. Even if we think or know that it's full of shit every time, every single year with the nominations.
100%.
However, my strategy, despite the prestige of the Grammys, we've tried building out other things. We have the BET Hip Hop Awards, right? We have there's a show right there. I think that
the BET Awards. Too.
We have the BET Awards, which I think all of them could do better jobs of being more inclusive.
Yeah.
So we already have our own institutions. So clearly the Grammys has to be the one that changed. My strategy for changing that, every artist that is black does not submit. I don't think it's going to happen. It's not realistic. And technically not.
Right.
You know? But you have seen some artists start. Yeah, Drake started. Kanye's only doing it just because he's making a petty move. But don't act like having a Grammy or any validation from white patriarchal structures hasn't been your MO your entire fucking career, Kanye. But we've spent so much time building this platform to be what it is. I think as a collective, if black people divest from this award show, people would immediately now have the veil unlifted, right? Right. But it's hard, right? Like, I know people that are Grammy nominated and they didn't even realize that they were Grammy nominated until the thing came to their house because of just something that they worked on as a producer.
Yeah.
Shout out to DeJour, by the way.
Yeah.
Incredible producer. Shout out to Saba. I'm just saying they're killing it. Anyway, look.
Saba's coming here in a couple weeks, actually. Sorry.
Not that Saba, but a different Saba. But anyway, I got
shout out to him too.
Yeah. But it's hard, right, to imagine how to strategically do that, how all black artists could divest from it. So when it actually came down to nominating, you don't have any talent to nominate. So people will immediately see, wow, there's no performers I'm interested in. There's no music I'm interested in. None of the music represents me, right? Because once again, black culture, black entertainment, black music, we are world music and have continued to influence in the greatest way, most impactful way possible, all of global music.
Yeah.
Look at how Afrobeat is still shut out in the fact that Afrobeat music is pop music now.
Yeah.
Right? Reggaeton is pop music. Right? There is and continues to be, right? Hip hop is rock and roll. I remember when Kanye said that. Actually, one of my favorite press runs when he was promoting Yeezus and he was with Zane Lowe. Shout out, because it is, as of time of recording, it's Lady Gaga's birthday. And it's also been posted up today, that clip of him saying, Lady Gaga, the fucking creative director of Polaroid? What the fuck does Lady Gaga know about cameras? Dog. I kind of Kanye moment. Look.
Oh, man.
But that's just what it is. It's like if we collectively divested from it, the veil will be lifted as far as what is good and what is not good anymore. What is worth our time and what's not worth our time. Like I said, I don't think it's realistic. I know it seems like a pipe dream to even think about that. But I think that's how you make an impact. We know that a show of black artists is going to take the ratings away. But how do we set a precedent for equity for us?
Exactly.
And that's what my strategy is rooted in. It's equity for us.
100%. And I think going along with that plan, I just think I think what you're saying is like a better version of what they're already trying to do. I just think it needs some more strategic planning, like what they're trying to do. Because like you said, it's definitely going to take away ratings and viewers from the
we know that. 100%. Yeah.
But if we're just watching a concert and we're not actually watching like awards being given or people being awarded for their music and stuff like that, then it's going to be like, I still want to see what's going on in the Grammys too. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think it needs some more planning and some more strategy around, like you said, how can we create an even better version of the BET Awards or even better version of honoring black music each year, whether that's because like you said, to your point, it may not be realistic for all of them to not submit, but even if they do submit, like I wonder if there's a way that we can still create something that has the prestige of the Grammys, but is solely focused on black music. You know what I mean? It's tough.
And I would love to imagine it. I think maybe thinking in a more progressive and abolitionist mindset when it comes to these institutions, there has to be a way of divesting from it in order to break it down, because I think still BT and even the NAACP awards, clearly they don't have the prestige. So how do we tear down and create something that has prestige of equal value?
Yeah.
And that's going to have to come without the validation of some of these white patriarchal structures, like a Grammy Academy,
Yeah, it might take some of them partnering up. Like it might take NAACP awards partnering up with the BET awards just to make one big award show instead of having two separate ones. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take, but
like I said, I think the first step would be to strategically divest, right?
Yeah.
Not give the Grammy Academy anything good to vote on,
right.
Not giving them an actual pool of talent, right? If we all divested, then that's your first step. My issue with the Jay Prince is because, like, honestly, dude, you're just condoning Kanye's like behavior, dude, and the shit's not okay. It's just tired at this point, you know. Even with Chris Rock, people are completely forgetting that my man has a verbal behavior disorder. Like he it's akin to Asperger's, to my knowledge. To which, he is not fully aware of social cues. That's and that's a root of his comedy. Is just that lack of awareness of it, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's with Kanye, like he's fully aware. He's fully aware of what's going on, and there comes a point that he's just weaponizing his mental health. And I think people that are standing with him, you just look like clowns right now.
Yeah,
because mans don't need it. Like Kanye don't need a stage, so that's
the last thing he needs. Yeah.
That's the last thing he needs, and that's my last little point on it.
100%.
I gotta know, dog. We've been on tour, like we said, over the past week since Smoking Grooves. Seen some incredible shows, and you saw a cool show on Saturday.
I did.
I want to know, how was your experience seeing Lucky Daye, one of my favorite artists, incredibly promising R&B act right now.
Yeah, Lucky Daye, and then Joyce Rice opened up for her. You know, I love Joyce Rice. People who close to me know I've been putting her on all year. Love her debut album. It was great. She was really good. I just think that what took away from her performance was it wasn't live. Like, not live. It wasn't live music backing her. Like, she had a DJ.
Oh, just a DJ?
Her. And her
Just DJ
album,
track?
if you listen to it, most of it is like live music implemented into it. Like, it's that live music sound. So I think her set
baby, but budget.
literally.
But budget,
So,
dog, I'll tell you.
Yeah, no, it was good though. She had dancers and all of that stuff, so it was cool. But Lucky Daye was amazing, bro. Lucky Daye killed it. I mean, he brought it all, and he's got so many old songs that we forgot about because his new album is so good. So he obviously came out with doing some stuff from the new album, and then he went back to some of the old stuff, then went back to the new stuff, then had to do How Much Can a Heart Take. And I mean, he did everything, bro. It was amazing. He really killed it. So it was worth the ticket. The band was fire, bro. I love a live band though. So the band killed it. The band actually made the show. So they were really good. But Lucky Daye was dope. I would definitely go see him again. So if he's coming to a city near you, I don't know how much he has left in his tour, but go check that one out.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna have to. I've seen him before.
Oh,
I've
okay.
seen him, I think, twice before. I have seen him.
Oh, dope.
I haven't just seen him on this album. I'm a fan. I've been a fan of Lucky Daye. Ain't nobody got to.
Right, exactly. You
ain't got to convince me. Ain't got to tell me. Ain't got to look. I'm not a DJ or anything that probably knows half these artists before a lot of people or anything, and able to put people on. I'm just saying.
Not you.
Not me. Me, him, not I.
Look, Supersonic though, man, because that's all I want to hear about. I know you went to Dua Lipa. Not too much a big fan of her music, so
I have to start a Dua Lipa though. I got to start a Dua Lipa because in just typical like life fashion of just being and living in LA. We finish, Saturday. I'm coming off of just like the high of that still.
Yeah.
Because we partied Saturday and recorded the pod, and then we did Monday, and then by Tuesday I'm like, all right, cool, I have to pack because I have to leave for Vegas the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And it all came apart because a friend of mine is like, hey, do you know anyone? And I'm getting this text on Monday, like Sunday or Monday. Someone texts me and says, hey, are you going to be in Vegas? Or excuse me, do you know anyone who's going to be in Vegas next Wednesday? My cousin is selling a ticket to go see Silk Sonic because something came up, family emergency last minute. I said, well, damn, I look at my calendar. I'm like, no, I was driving out to Vegas on Wednesday. I'm like, cool, say less. Like, I'm down. And then I said, like, how much? And I was like, oh, man.
Right.
These tickets are expensive, man. Let me tell you.
They are.
I don't know. I got to talk like a smoker when I talk about these. You know what I'm saying? It just gets me there. So I was like, I don't know if I can do the investment. Shout out to my brother Marcus Garrett, who it was his birthday 2 weeks ago, and he, I think, saw the show twice. And him and I just happened to be talking around the same time that the person hit me up about the show, and I told him, I was like, yeah, it's funny. A friend of mine wants me to go to Silk Sonic, but man, those tickets are expensive. My man said, hey, whatever you can do to go see this show, go. He said, so much so I'll give you a loan with no interest to fudge your ticket and you pay me back. He goes, that's how good the show is.
Wow.
So I go to that show with the high expectations. And so I'm packing and I'm getting ready because I'm just like, am I going to do it? I'm going to do it. So I'm packing on Tuesday. And then I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to do it. Screw it. So like by Tuesday midday, I'm decided I'm going to go see Silk Sonic. I work all day, hadn't got to getting all my gear in my car yet. And right as I'm about to start loading my gear, because I had the plan of leaving like 6 a.m. I was like, I'm going to get to Vegas. I'm going to go because I'm going to see Silk Sonic. So I'm going to get in first. Going to go see Nini. We were just reading her text messages. You know what I'm saying? She live out in Vegas. So I'm like, man, let me go see my grandma. Get ready ahead of my very busy work weekend.
Right.
And it's like 7:30. And I was going to the dispensary. And I get a call from my man Chaos. Shout out to Chaos Jones, friend of the show. Y'all know Kelly contributed to our Chick-fil-A versus Popeyes debate. And he wanted to contribute to the Will Smith and Chris Rock thing, but he ain't sent me a video. So I told him, oh well. Calls me and goes, bro, how close are you to Inglewood, the Forum, to be exact? And I said, nigga, I'm in Long Beach. You know this. Goes, cool. Well, I got VIP passes to the Dua Lipa show. Wow. He said, how quickly can you and Vic be here? And I was like, son, I was in bubby clothes. I'm picking up marijuana. I'm like, what the hell is this supposed to happen? But then he said, bro, but we can go to the VIP club inside the Forum. And I ain't never been to no VIP club inside the Forum. With unlimited food, by the way, and snacks. And nigga, when I tell you that shit was fire, they had this waffle and like this cream brioche that was just
sounds fire.
And then they had grilled. You have to understand, one of my favorite things to eat just when I need a snack or when I need to eat something, I love a grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Or like a toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The right kind of bread, right jelly, right jam. Give me preserves. Give me a thick peanut butter or even almond butter. See, I'm eclectic. I need you to understand this. And so we walk in, we get there, maybe like a few songs into her set. We go through all this food, and I'm eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I got to see Dua Lipa perform. And it was dope. Her band and like the DJ and how like she mixes her songs. Y'all know how I feel about dance music and like disco shit and some house shit, and that's what her show was. It was really dope. She's a great performer. She's really cool. But the whole time I was there, all I could think of is there's a black artist that's being robbed of this experience right now in this platform. Because I'm just be like, man, black artists be giving. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
What did Cory Booker say to Ketanji, right? Talking about the who was the person who danced better than Fred Astaire and still didn't get the platform. But I love Dua Lipa, and you know it. Shout out to Dua Lipa, okay? Love her music. So we go to the show, get home late as hell, decide to sleep in just a little bit, and then I had to go to Vegas the next morning.
Right.
So I get there, had no time to even do my hair, but I put on my suit. I dressed at the nines. Not gonna lie, because I knew I was gonna see Silk Sonic. Got to, I don't know what it is. I'm not trying to stunt y'all, but this is just my life. Okay, I shared it with my journal. I ain't got nowhere else to share it, so y'all gonna get this on my podcast. I'm gonna take my time with this. I had another VIP experience with my ticket that I bought. Came with a VIP experience, so I got to go to the VIP pre-party, which had an open bar for an hour, and the host on the way up there said, the drinks are really expensive on the inside. Like, she was telling me like it was the most. She said it like someone was about to kill me. She goes, when you're inside, the drinks are really expensive. She says, double, triple fist if you can. As she's escorting me up to where the VIP area is. And I said, okay. Dog, I asked for a gin and tonic. They gave me 3, and I just put it on the table right behind me. Gave me some snacks. And I was like, I can't drink it too fast because they were like tall. They were like large glass. Like it wasn't just a tiny little, like they were tall boy gin and tonics. And my man's was like, how's your night? This is the gin bottle. Yeah, great, good. Yeah, you come out to Vegas often? That was the tonic. Like, it was like 3 of the mugs. I was like, dog, you are like, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. And you get there too, and they lock your phone up immediately.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I adore it. I love it. I love a no phone show. Wasn't my first time doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I love a no phone show. I thoroughly enjoy a no phone show. You know, because it really forces you to just be in the moment.
Literally.
And especially when the artist will tell you about it too when you see them perform. And that's all I'm gonna say. I ain't going, but you know, there's a way that they engage with that. Talk about Silk Sonic. There's a way that they engage with the fact that we cannot have our phones, and it's so great. But I get messy a little bit at the VIP. Drink some water, and I take my 2 drinks left into the theater. And the show is about an hour and 10 minutes. And what I will say, again, in a no spoilers review, unless you want spoilers and you have questions, you can ask me direct questions. I will say, though, the show is a great celebration of both of their catalogs.
Oh, dope.
As most of you that know the Silk Sonic album and the incredibly short album that it is, it is made for live performance.
Okay.
And so seeing it live made me appreciate the album more, but I still think that the album, for me personally, is just a lot more of an homage and celebration of an era and a genre album than it is an original piece of work. And so like the album is cool, but seeing it live and seeing it from performers at their caliber, great. I have now been speculating how much do I want from Silk Sonic? Do I want another album? Do I want this and all that? And all I say now is like, them boys could sprinkle a few singles out ever so many years and give me a Vegas residency just like what we got every decade. Give me a stint of like 50 shows in Vegas over a season every 10 years. Sprinkle singles, and maybe in 20 years release like another album when y'all are like older men. I love them together. They're great. Like seeing Andy on that stage, man, I will say overall one of my top 10 concert experience. It is, I think, at this point in my top 10. People, my sister and Joe saw it the night after. My girl Kaylin saw it the night after that.
Wow.
All in the same weekend. I think Joe said top 2 concert experience for him. But I'm gonna say top 10. I've seen some incredible moments in music.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for me to just give it a top 2. But top 10 is high. I'll put up there my top 10. I will say I know the tickets are expensive, but for the people, like if y'all can afford it and if y'all can swing it, take y'all ass over there and go see it.
Wow.
Like take y'all ass to Vegas. Go give yourself the experience.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome. The band, that band. You want to talk about a band?
It's ridiculous.
Oh,
I know they're ridiculous.
Child.
I know.
And Andy just being able to just shut it down, like because Bruno can play instruments as well, so it's just to see them trade off and be around and just be performance and they're just hams. Like it was literally, I felt like I was transported back to Vegas in the 60s, like seeing seeing Burt Bacharach and Tony Bennett, or like seeing, you know what I'm saying, Tony Bennett and like Engelbert Humperdinck, you know what I'm saying, for those that know, you know, just seeing them to like trade off, like, yeah, Tony, yeah, well, Charlie, look, well, let's sing another one. And like they like just their chemistry on stage is just hilarious. It's great, and the music is great. They're in a bag, and my man's is working. I love it. I love seeing them do it. So great show altogether, I'll say.
Yeah, I'll have to go out there and check that out.
Yeah. Do you have questions about the show?
None that I can think of right now. I think you gave a pretty detailed explanation without spoilers, and I don't want any spoilers. So
see, you don't. That's why you said you wanted more, and I was like,
I did. But then when you start talking about it, I said I think I'm just gonna have to go see it. I'm just gonna have to go see it now.
You will. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Okay, look. One last break, and then I'm gonna come back. Got to talk about the return of one of our favorite shows. Definitely one of mine. Y'all know how I feel about Donald. Atlanta Talk after the break.
I feel about Donald.
Love is in the air, y'all.
Is it though? You'll be the judge as you watch our new 3-episode dating special premiering in February.
I've been shooting my shot in the DMs lately. Losing battle.
We are getting into the good and probably the bad of dating. It's going down exclusively on the Unfiltered Gems podcast YouTube channel.
So learn your lady's way of communicating.
Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
Unfiltered Gems podcast. Hello world. My name is Malcolm Alexander.
And I'm Ryan Hale.
We're at Unfiltered Gems podcast. One last little thing before we get out of here. Got to talk about the return of Atlanta on FX.
What a return it was.
Creator, starring, written by Produced by. Just saying. I mean, I don't want to stunt, but just, hey. The Donald Glover. I'm not a fan or anything. Season 3, 2-episode premiere last Thursday night. I think, it's been a lot. Literally the Atlanta episode, then the Oscars, Silk Sonic, like it all was like just all, and then 2 weddings this weekend, dog. Like it was a lot. It was a lot.
You were filled up.
Man, I'm gonna take a nap after we record. Look, what I will say, or what I'll ask you first is your initial thoughts.
Man. What a way to open a season. I'll just say that. I mean, I don't want to give you spoilers for those who have not watched it.
No. Spoiler warning. There will be spoilers ahead. If you have not seen the first 2 episodes of Atlanta, please fast forward to about 2 minutes before the end of this podcast. Thank you kindly. Go ahead.
It was amazing, bro. I mean, even just the way it opened, I was like, what is going on here? But then I had to remember, this is Atlanta. Like, they are going to give you something that you not going to think about. Like, we didn't even see the characters in the first episode to the last 5 seconds of the episode. I mean, it was just ridiculous to me.
It riveted. Riveted.
Literally. Like, it felt like a whole show in itself, a whole different show in itself. Like, it was crazy.
Gosh.
But the way they did that, bro, from the storyline of the boy...
Well,
bro, the slaps, the
3 slaps, man, 3 slaps,
bro. It's just like so many points to pull from it. It's like I don't even know where to start. I was just mentally all over the place, like trying to figure out like how they were gonna land it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in proper Donald fashion, he found a way, and it was special. I mean, I got questions. I mean, I'm trying to figure out if that boy was supposed to be Donald.
Well, all of it was based on like real life things, right? So that picture of the young black kid hugging the cop, right? At the protest in Portland, right? Like it came to find out, right, that he was being kidnapped. Like that's the whole Hart family murder. Right. There was a 12-year-old kid, Devontae Hart, who went viral for a picture of him hugging a police officer during a Ferguson unrest protest in Portland. Right. And then social media went crazy, only to find out that Devontae, along with his 5 other adopted siblings, were being abused by their white adoptive mothers, Jennifer and Sarah Hart. Like this was a real thing that happened. So he just compounded it with Lake Lanier. And for those that don't know about Lake Lanier, it's one of those, and shout out to Amber Ruffin on the Amber Ruffin show, right? She did a whole dissertation on flooded black towns and like buried towns that are underneath us, right? Yep. Lake Lanier is built on top of what used to be Oscarville, a all black town in Georgia that was flooded. That so yes, and so it's been reported for decades that there has been people gone missing, right? Yeah, genuinely, because there are people underneath Lake Lanier. So he used it all and based it. And so, but the Hart family, the 2 women, they drove off, unfortunately, with the children. So, I mean, the phantasmical thing about this, and I think that's what, so knowing that story, because, they drove off a cliff or something like that, like actually Mendocino County here in California, or was it in Arizona, I think actually. No, California. That these women actually drove off, like killing all the kids, right? Even though they said Devontae's body was never found, right? That's what actually made what was so traumatic. Because yes, there were so many jokes, right, in all of this, but then it's like the sheer trauma and the violence that white women can cause black children or black people is really what the question is here and the talking point, at least what I gathered from it. And it was
absolutely.
It was so chilling because it was based on like real life events, right? So it turns into fantasy, and the way in which Donald can turn that trauma into fantasy at the end by allowing the kids to get away. It was just wild. But I will say my favorite part about episode 2, despite everything that was just wild about episode 2, was the way in which Tupac died.
That was some of the craziest stuff I have ever witnessed. I was like, what is happening? I was vanned that whole
Oh my God. It like my man is literally like I just love that he had like he had the death doula. Like I'm just helping him cross over. We over here thinking this whole time like my man's got cancer.
He's
like,
right.
He's sick. Like it's like his last days. God, this is like wow. And Van just placed herself right there to see the most gruesome assisted suicide ever.
Ever.
I was.
Oh God, this is a lot.
And my man, look, Darius said, "Oh yeah, that's Tupac." Yeah, I mean, you know the theories. And then I'm cracking up because it's like I got family that believe that like Tupac's still alive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole 7 days theory, John. Like, so again, Donald just knows ways to just all his writing points to just all these little points about my life. Because yeah, I know people that still stand by like, no, Tupac's still walking this earth. So just Darius said so confidently, oh no, that's Tupac. Well, you know, like 7 Day Theory, like, you know, like he you know, he's still alive. Like they say he really wasn't. And I'm saying the whole time, like, no, there's something about this, like that literally, again, just the fantasy, the way in which Donald writes fantasy within the Black experience. It is fucking genius. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, go ahead.
What were your thoughts on the whole blackface thing out in where were they at again? I can't even remember.
They were in Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, that's right.
Amsterdam. Yeah.
What was your thoughts on? I thought that was insane because I'm thinking like, I wonder if this is real traditions.
I think it actually
that these
is.
countries have.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is.
There's
oh
so
my
much
God,
wrong
it's
with that.
hilarious. But yo, he's not a black person. He fell down a chimney. Like it's for the kids.
Oh my God.
And listen, you think Paperboy would wear this? You know, like put on the costume for the kids.
I said, what?
But okay, what about the fact that like he's in jail getting treated like a king?
Yeah, he said, I'm gonna wait to take my.
I'm gonna wait. He goes,
I know
actually,
bail's been pawned. I'm wait.
Yeah, he goes. You get the line on the way out. Oh, thank you. Kick back real quick.
Oh man.
Like it's just Atlanta.
hilarious, bro.
I am so ready.
Me too.
For the rest of this season. I
told you. I think I told you last week. I didn't know what to expect, and you said you put it perfectly. You're like, it's Atlanta. We never know what to expect. You're right, because I never know what to expect with this show. But I can't lie. It always delivers. It always delivers.
Yeah. Oh no, it always delivers, man. I adored the accuracy of the first episode because the first episode was haunting. Like even down to the food, man. Yeah. He said, "I hate it." We don't say hate. Hate.
Oh my God, I made fried chicken. How much should I make it for again?
Oh my God.
I said, "Oh, this is disgusting."
No, but dude, why around the second time? This is no lie. I'm sorry, y'all. Like moment of sincere vulnerability. Second time around watching it. When he made his way back home, even the first time, but definitely the second time I got around to watching it, when his mom said, "Yeah, baby, there's some spaghetti in there," I started like crying, yo. I really like it was the protection that Black parents paint around their children, right? The reasons that they'll justify abuse to us, right?
Yeah.
I'm beating your ass so that way they don't have to whoop your ass. Or worse, the fear that Black kids are raised with and that trauma that is ingrained into us within our own Black experience and how to not just not thrive, but just merely survive in a very white and violent world. There is something so nurturing and that was actually so real about that actress's like delivery to him as he came home. Yeah. Silent, saying nothing. Literally after the trauma, I know there's so many jokes painted around, but after the trauma that he experienced,
literally,
and him just to sit there in the relief. The young kid, he acted it out because the relief of like he's like, I'm just back home. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And his mom just seeing him saying, "All right, you don't like you know that bullshit." Yeah. He didn't say anything. He just said, "Is there some spaghetti in the fridge?" Like when I think about a dog, I'm serious. Oh, bro. The first time I saw it, or the second time, bro, I said, oh man, like that was. There's something about that writing that
I know.
Because again, that was horror, dude. That first episode, it was funny, but that was a horror episode, man.
It was tough to watch. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I know why people don't understand the way in which, and I'm also not condoning abuse for kids. Right. I'm gonna pray that I can do it so different when that day comes. Like 100%. I really am, because there is no space, and we think about why Black parents have to be so physically violent or emotionally violent towards their towards Black children in order just for us to survive in this world. I can pray that I can do it different, right? But there's something to the sincere violence that was that white woman thinking that she had the right to step in to Ladarius's life. L'Aquarius.
Call him Larry.
Larry. Oh, because
she said I don't know how to spell L'Aquarius.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna call you Larry.
That's a nice nickname. That's a lovely nickname. Like,
oh my gosh,
the actual violence that teacher
had him
when the
working
black
out
principal. And the black
had him
principal
working
didn't
out there
say
in the
shit.
yard like slaves.
Look, and he's singing Gucci, and she says, no, we don't sing that violent stuff. Sing something a lot more fun. Like, I don't want to work no more.
I said, what? I said, okay.
The violence. Y'all, when
Literally.
we talk about violent white women, like, Donald put it on Front Street right there.
Yeah, he did.
And what makes it so violent is that sometimes it's ignorant, right? Exactly. They can
so.
always say, like, well, I didn't know what I was doing. And exactly.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so, like, that's what makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Horror episode, man, but just incredible episode. Because even the second one, like, I was just in Europe over the holidays, dog. Like, I get it being in just a very foreign and white space, and there's customs, there's things that just happen here, and we don't know it, but it's like, I can't help but this is a little different.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just, I ain't mad at Paperboy. I wouldn't have performed either, dog.
Oh, man.
No,
but the way in which the touring manager,
he said, I'm going to kill you.
Why am I doing, I don't want to have to do this. And he's beat the shit out of dude.
Oh man, the irony too, like you're beating somebody down who's wearing blackface. It's not even a real dude.
The questions that it really raises, dog. Like, it's so
crazy. Yeah, I can't wait for the rest of the season.
Oh my God.
I can't wait. Yeah, it was really good.
I hope y'all are watching Atlanta. I told y'all to skip to the end of the episode, and now I hope you're here, because now we're done with our very spoiled reaction to Atlanta. We may have Atlanta in some of our other talking segments, because these episodes are going to be wild. So strap in and check out FX. It's also on Hulu for those that want to stream.
Absolutely.
Hale, I think that's our show.
Yeah, amazing show. Another one down.
Meaty show. You got anything else?
I don't, man. I don't.
Okay. Then look, that's about it right now. I thank y'all so much for your ears, for listening.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
This has been just a lovely podcast. So,
yeah.
At Unfiltered Gems Podcast, let us know your thoughts. Of course, do the subscription thing. Do everything. We appreciate you so much. My name is Malcolm Alexander.
And I'm Ryan Hale. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button up top. Hit that bell for notifications as well. And as always, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace. Okay, this is bonus content from the Gems, because this is Victoria's Corner. She has commentary that Hale, if you don't pay attention, you are committing. You don't support black women, and you're committing violence. Okay,
be quiet. Let's go.
Sarah, you too. Stop driving. If you're driving, don't multitask. Listen to black women.
Okay. This dude.
I'm not driving. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Okay. No, literally, my mom sent me this article from Esquire. I guess it just got published today, about how Will Smith's actions give racist ammunition, which, I'm sorry, that is the most outdated headline. I don't know. It's like clickbait. So outdated. That's what I'm saying. Yes. So first, let me just go ahead and preface that, no, I did not get a chance to read the full article, but I just did want to say something for anybody that did think that any of his actions were somehow conveniently or maybe inconveniently tied to the fact that it was an Oscars night that was produced by a black man. Race is going to be racist. You know what I mean? Like, it does not matter how we hold our forks, how we speak to each other. Ryan, I feel like, you, and of course Malcolm too, like, just understanding, kind of growing up in like predominantly white spaces, like, there's nothing you can do to remove your blackness, especially in the eyes of someone who's already bigoted. So, I just wanted to go ahead and like point that out. Not a shame on Esquire, but like, I think you can do better than something, as outdated as that. You know, Will Smith reacted how he reacted. I personally didn't really agree with it being on stage. If you're going to slap somebody because you're pissed off for whatever reason, I think it was more than just a joke made towards Jada, because he was laughing too.
Exactly.
The first like 3 seconds, yeah, the joke was made. I just think it probably would have been a little more moving, and especially I think, in my opinion, it would have looked more like protection for his wife, who is a black woman. I don't know, just like black women in general. I didn't feel protected up there.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
But in terms of protecting his family and his legacy and his wife, I think it just would have been a lot more just maybe an integrity of really what he was trying to do if he had caught hands at like the after party.
Oh, I 100% agree. And like I said, like that should not be the bar, the standard that we hold now for protecting black women. Like, we not all Will Smith. We can't get up there and get away with something like that. Like, whether he likes it or not, this has tarnished his whole career now, his name. All anyone's going to want to talk about 30, 50 years from now when he's getting his star or whatever is him slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars. He already has a star. You know what I'm talking about then. Whatever's next. Whatever he can get next. That's all we're going to be talking about. So it's sad that happened on the same night he got his first Oscar, too. That's what's sad, but...
It is really sad. And I think, you know, you make a great point with that by like, it wouldn't have mattered if he was on stage or at the after party or, you know, a week from now. Like, I mean, now his name is synonymous with getting that Oscar, and now with slapping Chris Rock. So, I mean, you know, you think about the kind of legacy you want to leave. And
exactly.
I know, honesty, it's probably not going to feel, you know, the same like 3 years from now. It's going to be way funnier. I think the way like a lot of honestly a lot of black men have been able to run away from the legacy, but like that would be a really interesting take maybe a year from now, and like let's look at that, because I think I talked with you earlier, Malcolm, about like if it was Leslie Jones up there making
he wouldn't have slapped
joke.
no Leslie Jones.
No, he would not have slapped Leslie Jones, but would Jada have gone up there and slapped her? I don't know. And how would that look to black women? So then would it have been like,
yeah, you're right.
Oh my gosh, black women attacking each other. I don't know. Cause sometimes like just because of the color of my skin, like another black person can still be an asshole, and maybe I need to slap them or not, or
True.
curse them out, or just like, cause anger is healthy. Like I'm not going to condone violence, but
100%. And my thing with Will is like, you could have got everything out that you wanted to say right from your seat, like you did after you slapped this man. You just slapped this man to make it extra, to make a scene, and to make a meme, like you've been made a meme over these last few years. That's all you wanted to do. This had nothing to do with your wife having a medical condition. I don't believe any of that. Because if it did, you would have been rolling your eyes immediately like Jada did. Like, stop it. Will made a fool out of himself, sadly, and this is all we're going to talk about probably for the next few years.
Yeah.
Until he makes another good movie, which he hasn't in a while. So.
No, but
actually, King Richard was good. So let me not lie. King Richard was good.
Wait, what was good? King Richard?
Yeah,
but
King
was
Richard
it like good compared to? Was it like was it iRobot good?
It was really, really good. I can't lie.
Yes.
It was really.
Was
really
it
good.
iRobot good?
I can't compare it to iRobot. iRobot is legendary.
Was it Wild Wild West good?
I don't want to compare. I don't want to compare them.
Protect
Different
black
movies.
women. Let them finish their sentences.
Was it Django Unchained good?
I'm not gonna compare them.
Okay.
But I think in the last few years, from what we've seen from Will, it was one of his best movies to date. From the last few years, from what we've seen.
Good. So Victoria's Corner is done. So we appreciate everyone so much for coming for the bonus content.
Oh, you're a fool. Thanks, Vic.
Thank you, black man.
Appreciate you, black woman.